Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Here we go.
Okay, look at you. Nickelodeon is calling.
Please give me a ring-a-ding-ding, Nikki. I'm trying to expand my portfolio this year.
You want to do some children's content?
Yeah.
That would, I could see you having fun doing would you ever like direct like a kids show? Like not like a teenage like Disney Channel show, but like more of like a Barney, like not necessarily total education, but
like being a character within it. I don't know about directing it.
It could be a Truman Show.
But if I could be like a
show.
Yeah, if I could be like a fun character, I'd do it.
If you could be one of Fluke's Fugalies.
Yeah, I can just run around, hanging out with the kids.
You're going to be the new Miss Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
I ended up on Miss Rachel Appreciation
I have no clue
TikTok.
who Miss Rachel is.
She is this woman who makes YouTube videos that teaches kids, forgive me any parent who's here or like speech language pathologist, like if I'm using the wrong terminology, but like she teaches kids like how to talk and like how to like, she gives like positive incentives, but it's like educational kind of content that is based and heavily researched in like speech language pathology in like it's just like help, I guess it's like developmental. That took me a second. For little kids, and I looked into it because I was like, everyone talks about Miss Rachel all the fucking time, and I was like, I wonder if that's like a toddler thing, and it's very much a baby sort of thing. So can't recommend it to my nephew because he's a little too old for that stuff. But it could be you. I'm sure she's raking in the money. I'm so curious about. I mean, Blippi. I don't trust Blippi and the franchise of Blippi. So we know when Blippi franchised, we know. You're taking in the money. But Miss Rachel, that's under wraps. How much you making?
I've never heard of her before, but I see that she's very popular.
Mm-hmm. Parents love her as well. Like celebrities will just be like, use a Miss Rachel reference in their Instagram captions and like, we'll be like, oh my God, Miss Rachel, like we're obsessed with you. And that idea is like being a celebrity who fangirls. I like, first of all, I love when like actors fangirl over athletes. Like I'm obsessed with famous people fangirling over other famous people who are in different genres. But by far the best has to be celebrities fangirling over Miss Rachel. Like, and you're like, my kid loves you. Like that's just, it's great. I love that so much. Well, I had something I wanted to talk to you about, but do you have anything specific before I get into it?
Yeah, I have a few things to bring up.
You start.
We talked about DoorDash earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And so, earlier as in on Don't Blame Me, I believe, I don't remember, could have been something else. We talk a lot. We've been talking since 12 o'clock and now it's 7:13. But, I Melissa DeMonts ordered, when I get off the plane, I immediately order food so it'll be here when I arrive home. So I got home, my food was still not here. And so I'm looking, and DoorDash, like, it kept pushing back the time that it was going to be ready. And I was like, whatever, I'm going to take a shower. I'm sure it'll be here by the time I get out the shower.
Oh no, this is like your grocery saga all over again.
It's different. So I get out the shower, and still not there. Then I sit and I don't remember. I did some other shit. Changed my bed sheets and stuff. And then it finally arrived. And I looked at the picture and I was like, that's not the front of my house. And they had delivered it to the side of my house, which is fine.
Okay.
Because
it's still your
the
house.
reason it's fine is because, one, it's still my house, but also there was a box sitting out there from a company that had sent me some stuff and been sitting out there for weeks. So you know what that meant? Mm-hmm. It was soaked in rainwater. Mm-hmm. So if I didn't, I'm sure the mail people like realized I wasn't home. It had probably been sitting in the front. And so they moved it to the side of the house. So at least I got to bring it in. It was like candles and some other stuff that was easily washable. So it was okay.
That's good.
So it was good that it was good that she delivered it there. But I bring it in, I notice it's a lot more food than what I had ordered. And so it was my food, but also another Melissa's food. So that's why it was taking so long, because she was waiting for this other person's food because they thought it was all in the same order. It had Melissa, but part of their last name on it. And so it wasn't my food. And so I had my food plus their food. And then I was like, hey, DoorDash, like, I got delivered somebody else's food.
There's
a
hungry Melissa out there, and it's not me.
And it's not me. And I let them know because that's the right thing to do, even though I knew they weren't going to take it back. And they still gave me like $30 in credit for I was like, this isn't inconvenient to me at all.
No.
Like, I have extra food now. Also, I had ordered from Mendocino, and the sandwich that I got, of course, like the other Melissa ordered was also gluten-free. So I was like,
I was about to say, your statistics there, yes. Like you ordered from a place that the chances are that you got a bonus meal you could eat.
That I could eat. She also had a salad that I could eat. So I was like, and something else. It was just a lot of food that I had not ordered. And so I was very happy. And then DoorDash they were like, you can donate it to someone needy. But it was raining, so I wasn't going to be leaving anytime soon.
You're going to be the creep who knocks on someone's door in the rain and goes, would you like this food? And they're like, who are you? And you're like, I'm just helping someone in need. And they're like, I need you to leave. That's what I need.
So thank you, DoorDash.
Wow, you really, like, I'm waiting for our DoorDash sponsorship because, like, you've really sold DoorDash the last 2 times we've talked about them.
Yeah.
So this is the week of maybe me getting DoorDash.
I mean, other Melissa's probably like, fuck DoorDash.
Yeah, but maybe I'll let them know that, like, I'm friends of the Melissa whose order was not messed up, so I would like the same treatment as, like, giving me other people's food that I can eat and also paying me for being a good person.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so... I'm not, like, I don't want to be surprised but, you know, especially rainy days in LA and all of that stuff, like, usually that delivery stuff is really dicey on success. And this is, like, the best possible thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
It does remind me of my Shark Tank pitch, which I don't know why this hasn't happened yet. Actually, I do. It seems, I feel like if this was a movie, like, villains could probably definitely use this for bad. Like, this is not the science we want to do, but if we were just pure ethically perfect, this would be nice. That, like, you should be able to order delivery while you're in traffic. And, like, you should have, like, a sensor on your car and, like, you got a sunroof and then it comes and it...
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Attaches on and it like drops the food off there. But like the idea that I have to be inside my home or any place of residence to get food is just like, I really need the food when I'm stuck in traffic.
Uber Eats, when they first launched, they had this program where they would just drive around with several meals from a certain restaurant. You know what they had.
Oh, they don't do that anymore?
They don't do it anymore, where they just, I would do it like if I was like, I knew I was going to be at this specific point in traffic every day. I was always going to be there. So I'd just have them leave me, like I'd meet them on the corner and they'd give me food.
Wow. I know Kyle would do it like in New York, but that would just be like, he'd walk in, grab it and like meet wherever they were. But yeah, doing it in traffic, because like when we were driving back from Colorado, like we were just stuck in fucking traffic and we wanted food so badly, but like we can't waste the fucking time. And our snacks were depleted. I didn't want another fucking nut or a piece of salami. And I was like, damn, that would be so nifty. Because like, what the fuck is a sunroof for if not for a little robot giving me some French fries? Like, that's what the future's about. Like, I'm sorry, we don't have portable jet packs that like an everyday person can have. Like, we don't have like the shoes that got the fire underneath where you're like zooming all around, and Dippin' Dots aren't even ice cream of the future. So like, why, like, what do I have an iPhone. Okay, cool. I have a smartphone that like recognizes my face, but
the drones are being worked on.
Yeah, but I don't think they're being worked on for good. Like, I'm a little worried, and I would just like, if you're going to like use them as like weapons of mass destruction, like
I mean like, because Amazon has the whole drop-off feature that they sometimes are working on, sometimes aren't. And I think at some point, because they did have a delivery service, like food delivery service, and then they stopped doing it. So I think like if they would have stuck with it, then they could have been there.
I don't know if I trust them, because one of their things that they did was like, oh, we can deliver things inside your home for you. And that to me was like, I'm not worried that drivers are going to like do anything, but I'm a little bit more worried that like drivers won't be legally protected if anyone claims that they did something.
But the thing was that you had to have a video camera inside your home for them to be able to do it. So there was a video that was a camera that was pointed directly at your door so you could see who was actually coming in.
Yeah, I
don't trust it, but that was the thought behind it.
I just don't think it's safe for like the workers. Like the idea that like as a worker, you're like, oh, you have to go into other people's homes and like, there'll be a camera and there'll be all that. And it's like, it feels like you're doing a lot of protection for them and like not so much for me. So,
and also who's to say that the people that are inside the home are safe for the workers?
That's what I mean. Like that's like, they don't have a great track record of protecting their workers, and the idea that like you're just going to go into people's homes like, who's legally protected here, who's physically protected here, stresses me out. So I don't know if like they're the people I would like without a doubt trust to do that. So like I need one of those startups in Silicon Valley who like has the little robots that like, go around and they make those TikToks like, can you do this for us? Like that'd be so handy. Like it'd just be so nice.
Yeah.
Because like what else are you doing in traffic?
Yeah.
Sadly, nothing. And I could be snacking on some like hot food without getting off the freeway because I can't get off the freeway. Like so nice. So appreciative. So that's what I thought about when you were telling me that. We started and finished She-Hulk this weekend.
Okay.
We might have even started like on Friday, maybe Saturday, and finished it last night.
What do you think?
loved it.
Good. I'm so happy.
Well, Melissa, it's fucking camp. Like,
yes,
it's so campy. Like,
and I didn't, and there was no way for me to explain what the show was to you because it makes a lot of sense, but also it doesn't. But also a lot of people didn't read the comics and didn't understand that She-Hulk herself is just camp. Like the whole, like she breaks the fourth wall. The last episode is actually almost exactly came from a comic.
That last episode, and no, but I mean, it's not even like a spoiler, but like whatever. Like, we're not going to give a plot spoiler, but like part of it is like breaks the fourth wall, and I guess spoiler alert, she goes into like the studio,
Marvel Studios.
When I was fucking dying at like just how I've never been to obviously like Marvel Studios, but like I've been to 1,001 fucking auditions at like that lot. I've walked all of those streets. I've been in those buildings. I've literally been in so many of those offices that just weren't the Marvel ones, but I've signed those NDAs. I've done the picture, and I was like, you really are committing this to a group of like, a small group of people who are watching this who know that you're nailing this. But like for everybody else, it's just a plot point. But for people who've been through it, like the commitment to the accuracy, like it was like, oh, thank you for the niche references and jokes and doing it. Like, it was just so funny. And I really liked it. Like, you were the one who told me before when you were like, it's like a lawyer, like imagine like a lawyer procedural, but like she's She-Hulk. And I was like, why did nobody market it like that? Like, it was just like, oh, She-Hulk. Like, I'm supposed to like know that much about it. But like, it is so different in the sense that like, it's an established television format.
That's the thing, is
twist.
it's TV. And the thing is, all the other Marvel TV shows, while they are TV shows, they just feel like an extended movie. This actually just felt like a TV show.
I was talking to Mats about that, where it was like, so I specifically, my two favorite Marvel shows that I've seen, and like not favorite based on like the content or the plot or whatever, but just like how well I think that they were done well, was WandaVision and was She-Hulk, because both of them felt like TV shows. Like, I think WandaVision as a movie, it wouldn't have worked as well. I think it would have worked, but it wouldn't have worked as well. And it was,
because you needed a reset, and it would have been too much. But yeah,
and it was like, there was so clear, like there was like really clear. The director did it was really great directing, really great cinematography, really great like tone and style, which is something that you don't, no offense to like Marvel in general, but like Marvel has a tone and a style of its movies. So like the directors don't get to do a huge amount of, wow, this feels really visually different than other Marvel movies. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, you're working within a box. But with those two shows, like, they were very much how TV is. Like, they let TV directors, like, every fucking episode can be a whole different tone because that's how you're allowed to do that on TV. It's encouraged on TV. That's how directors build up their portfolio, or they're real, but you know, that's the same sort of instance. And I really loved that, because I missed that about. I mean, I'm sad every day that WandaVision, like, it's one of the best shows I think ever done, and I was like sad about that ending. And we watched Moon Knight, which I also loved, but that would have been a movie. Like, could have been a great movie. And then this, I mean, same thing with Hawkeye and Falcon, and what are they called, that one?
Winter Soldier.
Is that what the show was called?
I think it was Falcon.
I think not Hawkeye. Hawkeye had his own show.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so I didn't watch the Hawkeye show. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I liked too, but that was also a movie. Like, it was just, that is what it is. But like, I don't think it's also a coincidence that the female-led ones are less film-like and more leaning into like the TV kind of space, and they're not as, not want to say they're not as cinematic, but like in the sense of like, oh, we're just throwing money at this. Like, they're definitely more creative in that. And I fucking loved it. Like, it was so, it was just so, like, just so good. And I'm also like they're definitely going to do more of it versus WandaVision. When I watched I was like, oh, well,
this was just to get her to the next part for the movies for Wanda. But yeah, like, and they said in She-Hulk, they're like, you're not getting a movie.
Yeah.
We know you're
she's so funny in it too.
Yeah, I want you to watch just one episode of
Orphan
Black because
I know everyone says that she's
like even
amazing.
if you don't watch, even I would say watch like in later episodes, just one episode just so you can see how she changes into different characters but playing a clone of herself. She's just brilliant and she's so funny. And then the Meg Thee Stallion episode, of course.
First of all, Meg Thee Stallion's, that whole look of hers, the whole outfit, everything, I was just like, wow, you brought your own glam team and like you look fucking beautiful.
And it was funny too because it was like she wasn't herself, but then an actual Meg Thee Stallion came and you're like,
yeah,
this
like
is great.
And you could just also tell that like she was having fun and I love watching TV shows about like women and then seeing other women on the show clearly like having a good time, whether it's like their characters are having fun or whatever. But like, I love seeing something about female rage, but then also like women just like having fun and like enjoying themselves and not being this like catalyst for, a love story or like trauma or whatever it is, like a horrific backstory. Like there's just something so nice about like watching just like women enjoy being women and like having a good time. And I thought they also tackled and addressed like so much of like, it was just so on the nose with some of the stuff where there was like it's stuff with like with Bruce when he's like, we have to be prepared, and she goes, yeah, well, like women are like literally always fucking afraid, and she just delivers it in such a way, and the script is done in such a way that like it's so clear that there's so many women behind it because it's a no big deal thing. It's just like a fucking throwaway because my brain's always had to program for that. Like this isn't like a sob story. This is the only thing I've ever fucking known. So like, let's move on. And I just thought that whole thing, the whole way it was done was great. And I also I love shows and movies like about female rage, and there's something really campy about that rage turning you into the Hulk and like a giant green monster essentially. And I thought it was hilarious. I like love what was her name? Madison. Oh my fucking God.
So fucking good.
Melissa. I was like, usually when I watch things like that, I'm like, damn, the mom's like, you've been great at that role. And I go, no, she is perfect. Like I would have, if I booked that role over her, I would have been like devastated. Like there's no fucking way. She was so funny. I looked her up afterwards and I guess she like won a bunch of like, in lots of publications wrote up like the Scene Stealer and She-Hulk. Like she was great, blah, blah, blah.
I want to see Madison Wongers together.
Oh my God. That was so fucking funny. And I really want to know who wrote some of those lines in that episode or if they were allowed to
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Like improv, and if they did some of that improv, because she's a comedian, like I looked her up, like, and so it was just like so well done and so fucking funny. And then I also love the guy. They're like this I forget what his like job title is at their work.
The other lawyer guy?
Yeah.
Pug? That guy?
I want to call him maybe, but I like Mats and I call like that's like when we talk about Anthony's, like he's an Anthony.
Yeah,
to us.
Pug. Yeah.
He's so funny too. Like, and I think how they wrote him, like people always talk about like, you know, men will always be like, oh, why do you need like men write women all the time, like blah blah, like why is it so important for like women to write women, and so you can have like, I also fucking love how women write men that aren't romantic interests. Like I also think that like men get to be more well-rounded characters there. Like he's not used as a love interest. He's not written in this way that it's like, oh, look at him, like he's not good, he's not bad, like he's just like, he gets to have a personality too. And I really like it. I think like all of the acting is great. I think all of the casting is really good.
Yeah.
And
even her best friend, Nikki.
She looks like someone.
She they loved her. Like the part was originally like different, and they loved her so much, and they rewrote it to put a lot of her personality into it too. So like, I think they were right. They were writing. I think they changed some things to write to the people that they cast too, which makes it even better.
Wow.
Oh, you found out when Captain America lost his virginity.
Melissa, it made so much fucking sense to me why I was like, why did everybody for like a solid 2-week, week and a half period say, oh my God, does She-Hulk like follow you on Instagram? Like, does She-Hulk know that like, were you in the writer's room? And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? But like, I never thought more of it. Like I didn't look into it. And, or then people even DM'd me and they were like, or tweeted at me saying things like, can't wait for like Meghan to watch this episode of She-Hulk. Like this feels like a personal shout out. And I fully fucking forgot about that when I started watching the show. And as soon as that moment happened, I go, that was the moment. That was definitely the moment they were all fucking talking about. And it was just so funny. And like, I don't know if like I was just like, if I'm not in the Marvel like fan social media world kind of thing. I stay far fucking away from that after the treatment of Brie Larson. So, and the women in general, but specifically Brie Larson.
They're really bad about She-Hulk. Like,
I'm sure,
excessively bad about She-Hulk.
I'm sure. And I think they did a great job for the season 1 storyline being, you know, essentially that. So, I don't know if that's like a common thing that everybody talks about, like when did he lose his virginity? But because I'm not a part of that online community, I do instead like to believe that it was a personal shout out for me. So I loved it. And I need to figure out why do I recognize this woman? Because maybe she just looks like someone else or someone that I know. Maybe I don't know her. Then she looks
like she's been in a few things that I've seen, but
she was in Ted. I don't know what her role was in Ted, but there's a chance I recognize her from that. She just has a very distinct voice and mannerisms, and so it could be that she looks like someone, and I know someone who has very similar mannerisms to her, because it's not just the look. It's like,
like I agree. She felt like somebody I knew. Like she just feels like an actual friend. Yeah.
No, it does. Like to me, like if you introduced me to her at like a birthday party of yours, like this is my friend, like I wouldn't, I'd be like, yeah, this is one of your friends. Like it's just like, she's great in it. So I love it. I can't recommend it enough.
I'm so happy that you finally saw it.
Oh my God. I'm like, I loved it. Like I like can't wait for more. I love this era of not all the Marvel TV shows. I haven't watched them all. There's a couple that just don't interest me as much. But the ones that they have done, like I really like it. And I think women get to, they get to have a little bit more to do in the TV shows. So it's been so fucking enjoyable, and I'm so sad it's over. And now we have to watch Dead to Me.
I was watching it live too. So mine was like Thursday. I was sitting down and watching them.
I can't do that anymore. Like I just
it felt, because I haven't done it in a long time, except for with my soap operas, of course. I hadn't done it in a long time, and it just felt good to have appointment TV.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that with Abbott Elementary. That's like the only one, and I'm not even on top of it, but like we'll be like 2 weeks behind, like at most.
Have you watched last week's episode?
No, we haven't watched that, and we didn't. Was last week the first week or the second week back?
Yeah, the first week.
Yeah, so we haven't watched that, and so like I love that in the sense of like, oh, the Halloween themed episode around Halloween. There's like that, and that. But anything that requires me to kind of follow from week to week plot points, I can't. I'm not good at the week in between sort of thing, because I'm also not good at paying attention for a whole episode. So I I start to remember things, maybe episode 4, it starts like clicking more. But if I don't give myself that cushion, I'm just going to be like, what happened? I don't remember. But I loved it. And what are the last ones of the Marvel shows left that I haven't seen?
Probably Miss Marvel.
Is that out already?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel.
No, yeah, the kid.
Yeah.
Is she not a
that
kid?
One's been out. She is a kid.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey, guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Miss Marvel.
For some reason, I didn't think that was out. But also, maybe
it's out. It came out in June of last year.
Oh. I'm behind. Okay, so let's see. Oh, they did a Daredevil show. I didn't know that.
It was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was Daredevil and
Jessica Jones
and Luke Cage and Iron Fist all had their own shows, but it's the same guy that played him, Daredevil and She-Hulk. So they're eventually bringing them over because they only stopped making them because Disney Plus was coming and Netflix, and then Disney didn't want Netflix to have the rights to it anymore.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the only reason why they stopped making it.
He's cute.
He's very cute.
Is he cute not in the show too?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
not in the show. I think he just looks like a
dude.
But
guy. He's really charming. He's very charming. Show.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, and Mott's like said, he's like, oh, that's whatever the actor's name is. And I was like, oh my God, like, why aren't you in rom-coms? Like his fucking smile, like he's very charming. But Mott says he works a lot, so.
Yeah. So, but they are bringing, he's going to have his own series on Disney Plus, but Netflix, it was a lot more dark and bloody, and so it's not going to be as dark on Disney Plus. I know, I couldn't watch it either. I love Jessica Jones. Luke Cage I thought was corny, but I liked all of the shows. They were all separate shows, but they all interacted with each other, and it would be nice because because it was on Netflix, they would like mention things that were happening in the MCU, but they wouldn't specifically name, like they would call Hulk the big green guy because it was because they're in New York. So like some of the stuff was happening where they were. And so they would like mention like they messed up downtown or whatever, but they couldn't actually say what was happening.
I love that like little legal loophole box you're put in. So it's like, how can we say this?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't get that iteration of Marvel related TV shows. Like I didn't watch any of those. I tried to watch Jessica Jones. I love
that
Kristen
first.
Ritter.
I love her too. But that first season was so fucking scary. Like it was too real. Like it was something that could happen to any of us women. It was so scary and dark. And I think that might be a reason why it didn't get panned in the way that the other female led ones get panned, because it was so dark that men were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people loved it. Like people really, really loved it. But I couldn't get through the first episode.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is too heavy.
It's very heavy. But the second season wasn't as heavy. But then when they did the crossovers, when they had all 4 of them together, plus Missy, I'll include her, even though she didn't have her own spinoff, but she is one of the city. It's what they call them. What are they? The Defenders is what they're called.
So the only ones on Disney Plus that I haven't seen, I watched WandaVision, I watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, watched Loki. I did not watch What If, which they said it's an animated one. I didn't watch Hawkeye. I watched Moon Knight, did not watch Miss Marvel, and I watched She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Yeah.
And then is this coming up?
So What If you don't necessarily have to watch, because it's just like, what if T'Challa was Guardians? I'm talking about Guardians.
Sorry, I get the Chris's mixed up. Guardians of the Galaxy? If he was Star-Lord?
Yes, if he was
okay.
Star-Lord. And so that was actually Chadwick's last thing that he had done, because he voiced it.
Oh, wow. So if I am feeling extra emotional already, I will watch that one.
Yeah, but but it like switches up. It's like, what if instead of Captain America, if he didn't do it, what if Peggy had gone under instead of him?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I could be into them. And I'm excited for like the slate of things that they've got coming up. Oh yeah, the head writer on She-Hulk's a woman. And
they were in when they went to the actual writers' room on the show. When they went to the writers' room, that was the actual writers' room. So the woman talking was the showrunner.
It's just, if anyone was curious if that's accurate about any of it looks like they were there. Like,
yes,
they didn't. That's not a stage.
Place.
They didn't set it up. That's like, that's literally the office, and like that's what it looks like. That's what every writer's room looks like. That's literally it. Like, it's just so fucking funny. I really wish they shot more stuff like that on the Disney lot, because it's like so perfect for that, because it literally, like, that is it. Like, they didn't cheat any of it. That's what it is. Well, I loved it. So thank you for the recommendation.
You're welcome.
And
I'm excited for you to
everyone.
get into Dead to Me.
Me too.
Yeah.
There's Dead to Me, and then we finally are gonna, after Dead to Me, attempt to start White Lotus, and then we are also both on the team of we're just gonna give up. If
I finished the second season, I will say it's one of those shows that they write to the season finale, which I don't necessarily. It's not my favorite thing. I know some people like it. It's not my favorite thing. I prefer when there is action throughout the whole thing, the whole season. But I'll say that I enjoyed the season finale a lot for season 2, and I wish it was more like that throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I think like a whodunit that is all leading to the very end. I only really like that in a movie, and even then, like, I still need something to kind of keep me interested and keep me like getting through all of it. And if that's going to be the case, I need the last like third of the movie to be the end then. Like I need you to stack it on there. But I feel the same way about like TV shows. And like even I watched it for a bit and then I stopped, like Pretty Little Liars, where it was just like every fucking episode we're trying to figure out who this person is, and we're not going to find out until the very last one. Like I'm just,
But even with Pretty Little Liars, didn't they change what it was, who it originally was? And so then it didn't actually make sense if you go back and watch it from the beginning.
I think
that's what I heard. It's like same with
Gossip Girl. I know they did it with Gossip Girl.
Yeah, Gossip Girl, they did the same thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm pretty sure with Pretty Little Liars, they did that because one, they didn't want it to be obvious from the book since the book already existed, and then two, people had guessed it, and I'm just like, if people guessed it, that means you're doing your job.
You're doing a good job. Yeah, it should never be so far out of left field. It should be like just enough that it makes you immediately want to rewatch the show to catch all of those little things.
Yeah.
And
soap
it's just
writers
hard
are
to
bad
do.
about doing that too.
It's
It
really
makes me
fucking
so
hard
mad.
for TV shows, and I think like you can make so much money because they can go on for so long, but it's like a format that like if you want to have a TV show that goes on forever, like you pick a different kind of show. Like it's just, it will be insufferable and people will get tired of it and they'll get over it eventually. And but at the end of the day, you still make the money, so whatever. But I love watching and finishing a really good TV show, and I'm so happy. But every time we watch a Marvel show, I'm like, now I got to watch some Marvel movies again. Like
that's why I'm liking going. I stopped while I was home, but going through and watching the movies and TV shows in the order that they should air, it's been very enjoyable.
Well, I can't wait to see. They're doing like some Spider-Man ones coming up, and I'm like, is it gonna? If I'm not wrong, maybe they haven't talked about it before, but I wondered if they were going to do the Spider-Man iteration similar that they did to the animated one. And I would be excited to see that. Nick Miller's in those ones, that animated one. Jake Johnson.
I was like, Nick Miller, like the character, or I was like, you mean the actor? Okay,
same thing.
They are the same. Yeah, he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I had no idea.
He sounds exactly. They even made his nose look like his nose.
No, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah. Look at Into the Spider-Verse is excellent.
I know everyone has said that.
Excellent.
So I have to be in the right mood to watch an animated movie, only because animated. No, it's not. It's not that I don't think of them as the same. It's just animated movies catch me off guard more than ones with real humans. So if there's anything fucking emotional in an animated movie, like my threshold of what I can handle before I'm sobbing is much lower. Like I could watch a TV show where something really sad happens, like, but you fucking give me Bing Bong, I'm a puddle on the floor. Like animated movies,
I cheered when
up.
Bing Bong died. Spoiler alert. I thought Bing Bong was the most annoying character that ever existed in the history of movies.
Melissa, that's the hottest take you've ever given, and you're not even giving it on the right podcast. Bitch, that's like so bad.
I cry every week watching Grey's Anatomy. I cry, and like
you're a serial killer.
No,
like,
I cried in what's the name of that movie? Emotions 5 Senses. What's the name of that movie Bing Bong's in? Fucking Happy, Sad.
No, but no, stop talking. You're making me forget what it's fucking called. Inside Out.
Inside Out.
You're like calling it the DSM-5. That DSM-5 movie.
DSM-5 movie. I did cry in that movie, but Bing Bong was not part of my tears.
That I've literally never heard anyone say that. Like, there's no moment in my life I have ever cried more in a film. Like that. I've
cried in so many things, but usually watching things is when my tears come out. But Bing Bong,
even though Bing Bong was representative of childhood,
my childhood still lives on. It doesn't die.
Forever young. I can't believe that.
Most annoying character.
Wait, do you like Baby Groot?
Yeah.
Okay, who else don't you like? Because I need to know who Bing Bong is a company. You're
that
kidding
might
me.
be one of the few.
Melissa, that's so that's a wild.
I'll literally look at Marvel because my game has all the characters. Let me see if there's anybody that I
Rocket.
hate. Rocket's fine. Annoying, but
annoying
fine.
as fuck, but supposed to be annoying.
Yeah.
Please tell me you like Bing Bong more than Star-Lord.
Star-Lord's funny.
Do you like Bing Bong more than Chris Pratt?
I don't like Chris Pratt, but I like Star-Lord.
Okay, do you like Bing Bong more than Chris Pratt? Okay, the house is burning down. If you have to say Bing Bong or Chris Pratt. Melissa, you're letting Bing Bong burn?
I would save Chris Pratt because Chris Pratt's real.
Okay, well, this situation is also not fucking real. The house isn't burning down, and why would you be in the house with Bing Bong and Chris Pratt? But like, you wouldn't for like the greater, like for everybody else who like loves Bing Bong. Wow.
No.
Wow.
Chris Pratt
I was
has
a Scientologist.
Children.
What's
Chris
that term
Pratt
they
has
use?
children.
You don't know that. You don't know Bing Bong's paternity or lineage. Question: what's that term that they use? Suppressive. If this was Scientology, I would refer to
Guess
you.
Guess what? Bing Bong's
suppressive.
already dead, and Chris Pratt isn't. So what does it matter?
Oh my god! Wow.
But is Bing Bong really dead, or is he just a suppressed memory? So could she go to therapy and bring Bing Bong back?
Can I go to therapy and bring Bing Bong back? I gave Mats the warning when we watched that movie. I was like, it's really sad. And I gave him the same one with Up. And I think we watched Up first. And I was like, I just need you to know that, like, I think this is sadder than, like, Up. Like, this is, like, Up is, like, sad in a way that you think and, like, in a way you expect. Like, this one, like, will, like, has the potential to, like, send you into, like, a spiral. Like, this is so, what's that fucking word? It's, you know, when you're thinking about yourself and, like, your place in the world. Like, what's the meaning of life? What's that, like, why are we even here? Existential. It's, like, so existential, like, and you'll just keep thinking about it. And I fucking, my ass, I fell asleep while watching Inside Out, and I woke up and he was so not okay. And he just looks at me and he goes, "You didn't warn me enough." And I was like, I don't know how much more to warn you when you said you were ready for this movie. The only one that I've, like, dipped out of that I was like, I'm not ready, and I don't think I've described this well enough, was we started watching P.S. I Love You, and I was like, we can't watch this. And he was like, why? Like, we love him, like, Ireland, like, lovely, beautiful. And I was like, this movie's, like, really fucking sad, and it just doesn't stop being sad. But I love that movie. Maybe I need a good cry, I'll watch it. Even though my birth control makes me cry, like, not even, like, I'm sad, like, sad crying, but it just makes my eyes, like, well up with tears, like, so much quicker. Like, anything that could be even slightly, like, if I hear a song lyric that's, like, slightly cute, my threshold, like, I'm not sad, but my eyes are like, are you sure about that? And it's just, like, it's, like, really, that birth control really moistened those fucking tear ducts.
Mine makes me angry, so.
We all have different.
Which is why I mean, the last one I was on didn't, but that one just, I don't know. I just started not feeling like myself anymore. But
it's that combination. Plus our hormones, the crazy thing are, and so like, in theory, our birth control, like, it's pretty rare for people to have a birth control that sustains you for a long period of time, and, like, in reality could potentially be, you know, more like an antidepressant or more like something else that, you know, over time affects and changes. But, you know, I really hope this one fucking works for a while.
Yeah.
Well, what a good TV little recap we had. What are you all watching? Let us know. What else should we watch? If there's any of the other Marvel shows that we mentioned that we hadn't seen yet that you're like, oh, you gotta see. The one thing I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm not a Hawkeye fan. I'm not watching it.
You watching anything else before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. We've just been doing the comfort shows. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We did a couple episodes of Modern Family, but we kind of got back into the Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't fucking tell you this. This is the last thing I'll mention. So I, like, tweeted so there's few things in TV show, like, happy moments in TV shows that, like, make me cry. And again, TV shows with, like, real life people, I don't always cry in them, but very rarely in happy moments. I have never not cried when Jake and Amy got engaged. Like, I don't know why. It just, like, really fucking like, it just...
You know what made me cry with them is it was way before that. It was just when they were on that stakeout sharing those almonds. That made me cry.
When you started telling that, I was like, I know which one you're going to say.
So, like, that made me cry. You can't say that I'm a monster because...
No, I still can. Like, you're still a fucking monster. Like... I think Jake Peralta definitely sobbed with Bing Bong, so, you know. But
yeah, he did, but Amy didn't.
No, probably not.
She laughed.
She got a little too existential.
She laughed
just
at
spiraled
it.
and then made a list. But I, like, posted, like, me being like, oh my God, this will, like, always make me cry. And someone responded and was like, oh my God, my best friend's dad was on that show. And I was like, who? And she goes, oh, he, like, played some guy, I think, like, Captain Ray Holt. And I go, shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, he is the best character on the show. He's my favorite person. Like, when I tell you
he might be one of the best characters in television history.
Literally what I said to Mats, I go, if there is anybody I'm going to fangirl over if I ever met, like, actor-wise, not even fictional character, like, I actually cannot think of somebody else because, like, yes, I love Keke Palmer, but I'm like, Keke, we're going to be friends. Like, I'm not going to be weird about this. Like, I'm not going to, like, whatever. Michael B. Jordan.
Past episodes would say not.
Michael B. Jordan, you know, I already had my embarrassing moment with you, but that's like a sexual desire. And, you know, it's that flame has not been fully quenched, but like it's definitely a more manageable fire. Those loins are in a manageable fire. And like Taylor Swift, like I've like loved her music for like so long, and like, you know, music is a very intimate kind of thing, but like when a fucking TV actor has like pretty much no social media presence except for promoting their TV show, and you only see them in a performance of a singular TV show, and like I like genuinely think he'd be the person I would fangirl over like the most. Like if I saw him out, I would be like, oh my fucking God, like I would die. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And she was like, oh, I haven't seen it. And I go, I don't know anything about like him and his personal life, but purely based on how he played the character, I bet he's a wonderful dad to your friends. And she goes, yeah, he's really cool. And I was like, I can't believe, I really wanted to be like, do you think he could get on Cameo for Matz's birthday? But like, he would never, like, but I died. Like, imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I literally lost my shit. I was like, there's literally no one else you could have said that would, like, this is the biggest reaction I would have had.
When they said it so casually, I was like,
I know.
Just a passing character, which even the passing characters are still pretty stacked.
I would have been stoked. Like, yeah. I mean, we know my love of
I know how much
Andy
you love
Samberg.
Amy's brother.
Don't bring that up. Is this retaliation for Bing Bong, isn't it?
Yes.
I gave you shit for Bing Bong, and now you're sending the Linwell Miranda stands after me. The Miranda stands. They're going to read me my Miranda stand rights.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Do they call the Hamilton stands Hamil stands?
They call them
politicians.
No, they have a name. It's called
the curly wigs.
Mm-mm.
The declarations.
I think it's Familtons, maybe.
That's okay. That feels like it fits.
Mm-hmm. And remember, it's musical theater.
Did you see that article about like Benedict Cumberbatch finds out that he like might owe reparations because his and people were shocked, and I was like, his first name is Benedict, his last name is Cumberbatch,
right?
And you are shocked that this man has a very long lineage of wealthy British people. Like this is his birth name,
right?
Like, and this isn't like a quirky Utah name. Like there's a brand and a certain genre of names that's like Baron the 15th Scots of petticoats, blah blah. Like that's an aristocrat name. Like what?
Yep.
I was like, why? And everybody was shocked, and they were like, oh my God, how do you think he's handling this? I go, I don't think he's shocked. Like
No.
He's seen his birth certificate. Like he knows how he grew up. Like he's taken a history class. Like I cannot imagine he's bamboozled by this.
Well, I've been catching up. Well, not catching up. I just kind of stopped watching it, but then I needed something. When I was waiting for my food to arrive, I went through my Netflix account and looked at the things that I had saved over the years, because I was thinking like, do I still need Netflix all the time? Because I don't watch it all the time. I only watch it when there's a show that comes out. So I was going through looking to see if there's anything that I had started that I didn't finish, blah, blah, blah. It's like I still haven't finished Orange is the New Black, which I have one season. I was watching it live, and then the last season came out in a time where I couldn't just sit down and watch it. And then so I just never finished it. So I still need to finish that. I did want to watch the season of House of Cards where it was just Claire.
Robin Wright Penn.
Robin Wright. But
they got divorced.
Who?
I would say, is she Robin Wright Penn or just Robin Wright?
Oh, I think it's just Robert Wright now.
Okay.
So I want to watch her season. So I was like, okay, then I got that. And then I never finished Grace and Frankly, which I'm on like season 3 or 4 of it. And there's like 7 seasons. And I said, oh. And so while I've been cleaning my home, I've just mindlessly had it on. Very enjoyable show.
I think I started that. I don't think I ever got into it.
Yeah, it's not like I feel like it's a show you can just pop into, not just
Okay, good to know because I like shows like that, and we like to know the level of commitment before we start a show of like how much we have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Are we trying to piece things together? Like what happens if
you
we
don't?
blink?
Yeah, it's just a mindless show. So
if you're gonna watch any show about useless superpowers, you need to watch Marvel Runaways. That show, the fact that we as a society just like went on after that show ended and we just were like, yeah, that
I
happened.
never watched it,
Melissa.
but it's still like it fits into the MCU too. I forgot where, but they do reference it in other things because when I was doing my research and how to watch, same with Cloak and Dagger. Which,
that one was also more well regarded.
But it's well regarded, but it got canceled pretty quick. But then their character, the Cloak and Dagger, end up on Runaways too. Like the same actors play them, and then it's still. I was like, am I going to commit to watching this since it does fit into the MCU, but I don't have to watch it? Maybe.
I need you to watch Runaways.
I remember you talking shit about it, but you still liked it.
No, I didn't talk shit. I talked shit.
You did.
Melissa, it's pure gold. It's the worst television
That's
ever
what I'm
made.
talking about. You said
Nobody
it was terrible,
can act.
but still good.
Nobody can, like, there's non-existent directing. Like, nobody knows what the plot is. Just to summarize it in one way, everybody has, like, these superpowers. None of the superpowers are relevant. One girl's superpower is she has a dragon. That's her superpower. There's just a dragon there. And like the dragon can't like do anything. It's just
but
like
she's
there.
not she's not Kitty, what's her name?
Well, it also got canceled
Kitty
before
Pryde.
they could do much with it. I don't know.
Because Kitty Pryde is part of X-Men. So is she part of the Runaways? Because she has a dragon. Let's see.
I think it was a dragon. Maybe it was a different animal.
I'm just saying, was that Kitty Pryde?
I don't think so. Let me see. No. Maybe later on, but like it was not not in the time. But the best one is that one of the girls is gay and her superpower is she turns into a rainbow. Like she just glows rainbow.
I remember you saying that.
And it's just unhinged. And like the worst part of it is like it's split between like screen time of like the kids and then their parents. And the kids aren't great actors. They don't have a lot to work with. Some of them are like better than others, but like the script is so painfully bad. But the parents are literally even worse. Like they're so fucking bad. And it is just remarkable. And I'm obsessed with the plot of it though, because like it literally starts, it's so fucking dark. It literally starts because these kids like walk in and realize like their parents are at a like in a cult doing a seance where they're sacrificing a virgin who's like a girl from like their school or something who died and was missing. And like they're like, what? Like our parents are murderers? Like, whoa, let's run away. And it's just like, what the fuck is happening? And then they're like hiding in like the hills of Los Angeles. And it's just like, it's so fucking chaotic. And then they're like fighting their parents and it's all really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It says that the season 3 would have connected it more to S.H.I.E.L.D., but then they didn't get a season 3. Or season 4, I mean.
I didn't even think I don't even know if I watched season 3. I might have gotten over it at that point, but boy, oh boy.
Well, it ended in December 2019, so I'm guessing the pandemic kind of ended it.
But I couldn't look away. I was obsessed with it. So
nope, it was canceled in November, so it wasn't even the pandemic.
They can blame it though.
Yeah.
For themselves.
Interesting. Yeah, they said that in the way that the Defenders would mention things that were happening in the MCU, they did the same thing.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you now, like, any connection to it. Like, it was like, maybe they did have some of those references and I just, like, missed them. But it is so tone-wise, style-wise, it's, like, so fucking different. Like, there's no part of me that it could even place it in the MCU.
Yeah, they were saying that
purpose.
it was liberating that they didn't have to stick to the the strict rules of the MCU. But they said that they talked about the actions that happened in Avengers. They talked about Iron Man. And they talked about what Captain America was doing. And then they talked about Wakanda. And then Darkhold from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a brief crossover, and then they were going to do more of it, but then it was canceled.
I need to know if it had like a fan base that was earnest.
I felt like every time I opened Hulu, it was the first thing that was on there.
Well, at the time, it was their only. No, because I think it was a Hulu exclusive.
It wasn't. It was.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I think at the time that was their only Marvel exclusive.
It was. There was a animated thing, I think, but yeah, like as far as
so I think promo wise, I think they had a lot of budget for that. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that's gonna be it, everybody. Happy Tuesday, and excited.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, excited for you to hear the rest of the episodes we have for you this week.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Goodbye. Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.